The following content may not be suitable for those under the age of 13.
And good evening.
That was good.
Thank you. And good evening, one and all. Welcome to another episode of Meet Your Reviewer. I am your host, Martin Sebastian, aka UltraMegatronus. You can find me here on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch TV as well as Facebook. Please like, share, subscribe, which helps me give you guys better content and also helps my guests as well get out there and get view quality content as well. And tonight's special guest, you can see here, is the man of the hour, Patriot Prime. How are you this evening, sir?
I am doing so good. I just got off of a 10-day straight, 12-hour-a-day work week, and I am happy to be hanging out with you and getting ready to enjoy a day off tomorrow.
Awesome, awesome. And wow, we are blowing up here on the chat, so going to give a little bit of a swoop down here to everybody here. Wisebot always comes in. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. And hopefully we can get started on this one. So, everybody's in here. Good evening, one and all. So, as everybody knows, what I do is I ask the, wow, I'm talking normal today. I ask my guests that come on a couple of questions. If you guys have questions that you want to shoot out to Patriot Prime as well, please involve it in the chat, and I'll get to them at certain parts of the show. And
wait 1 second. I haven't seen my kid all day. He just got home.
Bring him in. Bring him in. And let me zoom in. And if you would like to introduce him, he's going to be part of the questions, in fact.
There he is. Say hi.
Hey.
Hey, Dylan, how are you, man?
See, they know you. You're famous.
Yeah, we got you. In fact,
pretty cool.
Like I just said, one of the questions later on is going to be about you. Nothing bad. It'll be good. About him, yes.
Oh.
What you eat?
I'd always do my research and do as best I could to make sure that everybody gets the quality questions they got. So, that being said, here we go. So, the first question for you, sir, is, so what drew you into becoming a fan of Transformers and any other cartoon that you happened to watch as a kid?
Oh, man, I was a kid of the 80s. Born in the 70s, kid of the 80s. 80s had the best cartoons, and we all have to agree on that. I mean, 90s had some decent ones, but 80s, man, 80s rocked. You had He-Man, you had G.I. Joe, you had Transformers, of course, Brave Star, freaking Wheeled Warriors, man. There's so much stuff. Silverhawks, Thundercats. I loved it all, but what drew me into Transformers was definitely the stories, and it was Marvel Comics, because my first experience with the Transformers was Marvel Comic issue number 3. I was at a drugstore with my dad. He was picking up a prescription. He says, "Hey, get you a comic book." I'm flipping through the rack, and there is Spider-Man webbing up this giant robot. Just called to me, took it home, read it over and over again, and because of that comic book, all that behind you right there.
Yep, that was in fact the issue that brought in Spider-Man with his black suit introduced for the first time.
He noticed there's a slug on his shoe. Dylan's a very animal person, so he's going to go outside and let it out.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. These are the animals. Definitely, for sure. So, okay, we've already got people involving in questions. So we got this question here from the Black Tower, and he says, what is your favorite War for Cybertron trilogy figure?
By War for Cybertron's, that you talking Siege, Earthrise, those? If so, it's the Titan Scorponok. I love that Titan class figure. To me, that seems to be, that was the last good Titan figure. It didn't seem cheap and hollow like the Ark and Nemesis and Metroplex. Love that figure. And then I did all the DNA upgrades on it. Oh, good Lord. It's awesome.
I've heard anybody that got the Toyhax labels for that one, that took some time and a half. And
yes,
I think somebody even called out and worked for 1 week.
That was my last Titan Toyhax review. No more. It's just too much of a challenge. I have limited workspace, and I hate doing the videos where I have to hold the camera and do this old shaky cam all the way around the figure. So I don't like reviewing the big ones where I can't give you a proper review.
Awesome.
If it makes sense.
And we got another person here. Mercenary Terror T20. Who do you prefer, Snapdragon or Ape Face?
G1 or the War for Cybertron?
Yep, everybody. That's the one thing, guys. If you ask questions to Patriot Prime, please make sure to specify which era we're talking about.
I've been around for a while, you kiddos.
AARP's knocking at my door.
G1 100% Snapdragon. Love G1 Snapdragon. You know, with Earthrise, I forget which one it was, but I'm going to have to go with Snapdragon 2 because Ape Face just had way too many issues. I mean, he had that horrible plastic. He wouldn't peg together good. So Snapdragon across the board. And besides, it's a dragon. I mean, Godzilla versus Kong. I'm Team Godzilla, you know, so I got to go with Snapdragon.
I understand that. I understand that. I guess because even though Godzilla came out, well, actually no, Kong came out before Godzilla for me, so I was Kong before Godzilla, but definitely embraced Godzilla when I was younger and watching that week during the. I don't know if you had gotten the same thing too. What they used to do is,
baby.
Yep, during the week, Thanksgiving. In fact, they used to do in the city, New York City. They used to like have their setup. Laurel and Hardy, March of the Wooden Soldiers. Then they would go into King Kong, Son of Kong, Mighty Joe Young from the 20s and 30s, or the 30s. And then the next day they would show a messload of Godzilla films like in a marathon. It was so awesome to see that. So let me get you the second question here. So, as many of us know, you enlisted in the military and served overseas in a time that was pretty challenging. Did you ever take the time on the side to catch up with the Transformers lore? And was there anything while you served that you had with you, like a trinket or some sort, to have you escape from what was going on over there, to keep you at focus? Also, was there anyone else in your unit that had the same interest that you had while you were there serving?
Was that one question?
Yeah, well, yeah, one question, two parts, however you want to answer it. Sorry.
Right. For me, really didn't have any trinkets, anything. But Amazon was kind enough during Operation Iraqi Freedom where you can buy stuff from Amazon and they would ship to you overseas. So that's when the Beast Wars DVDs came out. I can't remember if Rhino made them or whoever. So what happened is I decided, okay, I've got plenty of time after mission. We got downtime. We can watch DVDs. Y'all remember what DVDs are? I had a laptop, so I ordered all of it, all the seasons of Beast Wars. Watched them front to back or beginning to end. And that's when I fell in love with that show. The story, everything was great because I saw bits and pieces, episodes here and there when it was on syndication. But this time I actually got to watch from start to finish. And it ended up that those DVDs got passed around my unit. So I made a few more Transformer fans while I was there. And man, that was about it. And then I tried to keep up with the new figures coming out, and I would order them on Amazon, just ship them home. I had a lot of figures waited on me when I came back. I think that was during the Cybertron and Energon line, and I really don't have any of those left now. They were part of the giant Transformer purge of 2012.
Wow. You even got the date that. Wow. That's awesome. All right. So let me give you a shout out here to Diecast Norms. Brother, man, your question is, did you get your Epic Optimus Prime tattoo before or after your service? After.
That was my 40th birthday present to myself. My wife and I both turned 40. We both got big old tattoos, and then we got him. He was our 40th birthday surprise, or our 40th year surprise. Dylan was actually at my very first Transformer convention. We just didn't know it.
There's a lot of good questions going on here, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to do this again for Mr. Black Tower here. How do you manage your life with what you do on here? I mean, only 7 days in a week.
Time management. Most of my videos are shot really early in the morning on the weekends.
Awesome.
You guys are up.
Okay, so the next question for you is, after serving in the military.
Down my back.
We're getting you. Don't worry, Dylan. We're going to get to you. So, after serving in the military, did you ever think that you would ever become a YouTuber? A lot of us heard from you that this all started as a bet.
Yes.
How did that happen?
My last job, I was a security officer at a casino. And the whole group, we were all ex-military, ex-law enforcement, and we worked night shifts. We worked 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., so on and so forth. So when we were off from work, we were wide awake all night. So we were all into online gaming, the tactical shooters, Rainbow Six, stuff like that. And we played constantly all the time. And one of my buddies was like, hey, we ought to do a Twitch channel and stream live. And I said, man, I am not getting on the internet and doing online games because I'm the guy. My job is to die first. That just seems how it worked. And he says, well, you don't have to do Twitch. You could connect your Twitch to a YouTube channel. I was like, well, I don't have a YouTube channel. What would I do YouTube videos on? He says, well, you like those Transformers, do YouTube on those. And I'm like,
There you go.
Because I was always watching other YouTubers. I mean, I would like the rest of you. I was wanting to figure, let's watch a video on it.
And I've got people saying hi. Everybody saw it. Hey, what's going on, Maury? How you doing?
I see Diecast has a question for Dylan.
Dylan, this one's for you, buddy. Who's your favorite Transformer or your favorite action figure?
My favorite action figure? Like Transformer.
Well, that's sad. What's your favorite Transformer? I know you're not into them like I am.
What's that guy's name?
Which one?
Shockwave.
Shockwave. Oh, you mean just I happen to have him handy here?
Shockwave is.
Which one is that one here? I'm going to zoom in. Which one is that one that you have?
That's a G1 Shockwave.
Oh, okay. Like I said, please bear with me. My vision's not that good anymore.
Him. He's in great shape, except he's got the old dry rotted hose and the electronics don't work. So I want to buy one of those cheap old pin soldering guns, and I want to see if I can fix him.
Oh, as far as the hose, you could probably get that like at Home Depot, Lowe's, and all that.
I know Larkins fixed one before, and he used a fish tank hose, the air hose.
Yep, those were awesome. Yep. It's amazing how we can like come up with hacks for these things, and in just typical Home Depot fashion, and it works out better than what you have originally. So here's the next one. One thing that I ask with past guests is how does your family take to this? It's an eccentric hobby that we all are into, but sometimes families can be like, seriously, you do that? How was it with you and them learning that you were going to do this, to be like a YouTube reviewer on Transformers?
Well, I kind of just did it.
Yeah, I just went through the question. Oh my God!
I think it's interesting. It's neat, especially like when I come back from cons and they see the videos of people running up to greet me and want autographs and stuff. Because that is just surreal to me when that happens. I mean, you've seen it before too, when people run up to me, "Hey, Patriot Prime."
Yep.
Yeah.
And what does Ninja Bill got to say? Would have been a Beast Wars at the time. I'm trying to catch up with everybody's like comments and stuff, so I apologize if I skip over anything. And can't even catch up. Inspect the electrolyte capacitor for leaks and get the valves off the side of the shrink wrap, like the capacity and voltage.
I understood 2 words in that. I fixed him before and he worked, but I don't know if this is back before I knew about soldering and all that, and I actually cut the wire and then I just spliced the wires together inside the hose, and they may have pulled loose, but now the hose is all just disgusting, and we'll take him apart and hopefully it'll be an easy fix, because you can go on Amazon and buy the wires with the 9-volt and just replace everything. So I'll give it a shot, and if he doesn't work, he doesn't work. I still got a great looking Shockwave.
All right, so here's my next.
I'll just pull the trigger and go. It'll make my own noise.
All righty,
editing. I'll just throw something in there. You are pop-tarting the hell out of me.
I'm sorry.
All right, Dylan. This one's kind of like focused on you. This is a long one, so bear with me, guys. So my next question is, now we've also have seen your son Dylan involved in some of your videos, so much so that he had even created his own channel, Dylan's Toy Box. If you guys haven't, you don't know, Dylan's Toy Box. And I lost my place. How professional of that of me. So much so that, do you feel that this time is something he will continue to do, or do you feel that he would change it up as time continues? For example, like stray away from Transformers and lean into something else. Like I know you're a big fan of Naruto.
Yeah, and like
One Piece more.
One Piece. All the animes that I'm like into is Dragon Ball. Well, I don't watch that a lot anymore. I also don't watch Naruto a lot anymore. But I really like Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece.
Oh, he loves One Piece. His birthday a couple weeks ago, all One Piece themed.
Yeah, I saw that in your CosmoCon video when you were doing the tour around the arena, and that was an awesome costume, Dylan. I want to say that straight up to you. It was an excellent costume. Did you did you enter any costume contests while you were there?
No,
He's shy.
I have stage fright, kind of.
But very first convention he went to, he won. He went
Awesome.
to Spider-Man when he was 2 years old and won. And why he won't get? I mean, I'm in your face. I'm a people person. He kind of backs up a little bit. He might got that from his mom.
I think Dylan will definitely like come out of his own and continue doing it. So, Dylan, here's another question. So, if you decide to continue doing Dylan's Toy Box, would you change the title, keep it the same, and what would you do as far as like content? You know, what would you like say put on your show to get people to check it out?
So I actually did change it like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Like actually like a month ago. I changed the name. Well, I made up the name and Dad changed it. It's called DX Gaming and More.
I like that.
And I'm
like
gonna start like doing gaming videos. I haven't done any yet because I can't figure out how to set it up on my Xbox.
Nice. I got an Xbox too. It's been a while since I played, but yeah, I'm a former gamer myself. Jammed on the older stuff, but that is so awesome that you're going to come up. In fact, here's some questions directed to you, Dylan. Do you like TMNT?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I like.
Look what he's drinking.
Who, me? I'll change it.
Oh, he's a Prime fanatic. We just knows what you're drinking.
So,
I thought it was just because I had this. I'm like, I know I theme things, but I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to overkill. I just like this flavor.
I used to watch it when I was like 6, and it scared me kinda when I was 6.
He watched. It was really good. It was the.
Look what he says.
I see that. It was the Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nickelodeon did it. It was kind of dark. Remember they would mutate the humans and turn them into monsters. I thought it was cool, but it was freaking him out at the time.
Oh, and by the way, my name's Dylan, not Dillan.
Well, let's spell his name correctly, people. We got to do that right.
He's a stickler.
And here's one. Here's another one. Holy crap! Dylan is a huge now.
You're huge now because a lot of these guys have been kind of following you. Gosh, I've been doing YouTube 6 years. So you were 4 years old when I started doing this.
And what is going on, Iconis? And here's one for you. My 6-year-old son, he looked at my shelves and said, "Dad, when you're gone, can I have all your stuff?"
Here's
one question.
Dylan has never touched anything back there. Ever since he was a little kid, what did I always teach you about this room?
Look with your eyes and like don't touch.
Close. Look with your eyes, not your hands.
Oh yeah.
And he has never messed with anything back here.
So that's because I've asked.
There's a video somewhere that's him 2 years old walking around saying, "Look with my eyes, not my hands." He just looks with his hands behind his back.
I know one thing is collectors, we all say the same thing. I've asked this question to like Raziel Kane. I've asked it to New York Hunter Impressions and all that, and it's the same things. Like, would you let your kids ever touch your stuff? And everybody had the same universal answer: no, that is mine. I earned that one. He has his. I have mine.
Okay.
You stay with yours. I stay
Dylan
with mine.
wants to answer a question from the Black Tower.
Sure. Which one did you want to answer?
The one where it says, "Go up about playing with figures."
It's the Black Tower.
The Black Tower.
Black Tower? Okay, let me get you that one, Dylan.
Yeah. I used to collect my own, but I have a little cousin that loves Transformers way more than me. So I kind of like gave him all my stuff. He's like, how old is he?
4?
4 maybe.
Yeah, because he had his Transformer
Oh
birthday.
yeah, like, and he loves Transformers, so I gave my little cousin all of them.
Not all of them.
And-
You have some of the original rescue bots because they're worth a lot.
And the only thing that he ever let me play with was this big dinosaur.
Trypticon.
Yeah, and it ate like other little Transformers.
Remember Titans Return Trypticon? He could eat the little Titan Masters. I would let him play with Trypticon, and he would sit up here for hours. And he always, there's a video on the Facebook somewhere where he's imitating the little guys going, no, don't eat me. Ah!
That is so cool that you got
Really
involved.
nice of you doing that for your cousin.
I know. I see.
And let me see what else, because a lot of people are saying some awesome content. Ninja Bill over here is saying that it's really cool. Awesome work on winning your first cosplay. And who else we got here? Just got back from local Coney Island, and I won a Pokemon. Charlemagne. You see, I'm not
Charmander. I know what that is.
I could never get into Pokemon. My brother was huge into it, but I've never understood it. I was an old school D&D guy. And even then, sometimes we strayed away from the books and we went right to just using imaginations.
Okay. Take his crumbly Pop-Tart with you.
No,
Dylan, you got one more question for you, and then if you want to answer it.
Dylan, are you going to want those back when you get older?
What back?
The toys you gave Connor. Are you going to want them back?
To be honest, probably no. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of into other stuff now.
He's never been into Transformers. He's liked his he liked the rescue bots when he was that age, but he just never got into Transformers. Yep.
Look what he said.
I see that.
Big M.
Big M. Yep. Playing with triple.
Yep, he's into the anime scene now, which is still, it's becoming big again.
Right back.
I know there was a break time. So, Dylan, man, thanks for coming on and taking
He's
some time.
coming back. He loves being online.
Oh, okay, awesome. Great. I got no problem with that whatsoever. And what is it? Right now, a 6-year-old is playing with Trypticon. Crumbly Tart is good.
Yeah, but not what's in your lap.
So if you guys in the
Oh,
chat
sure,
have questions, so if you guys in the chat got some questions, I mean, I've got like 4 left, but I definitely want to get everybody involved in the chat here. So throw some stuff out. In the meantime, I'll go with the next question, which is, do you feel that toy reviews will continue to pick up more steam, or do you feel that this will be a fad until nothing more can be talked about?
I don't know. It seems to go strong. Now, with my channel, I have noticed that my new reviews on new figures like United and the new stuff coming out don't get near the hits as my G1 stuff. So the G1, I don't care what people say, G1 is still number one. There's no one like G1.
Exactly.
So I just finished a G1 review tonight. I hope to have up tomorrow. I got to film my intro. That's how I film. I film the main stuff. Then I'll do intros and outros later.
Yeah. I think my favorite one that I got back, there was 2 of them that I had to get back, was the one from Beast Wars Ravage that came with the actual G1 Ravage. That was the first one I had ever gotten as a kid. And I lost it, so I was happy when they reissued it. And the second one was G1 Astro Train, which I've always loved. So love the train mode, love the shuttle mode. Bot mode for the time was great.
Full arms.
Yeah, like a little Velociraptor or something like that. But at the time, this is the 80s, that it was actually a pretty cool thing to have, especially when they introduced the triple changes for the first time. It was like, oh, wow, you can change him, and he actually looks like, what it is on the cartoon. And here we go. Question time. Are you putting up your video reviews on Amazon, or are they doing that? Either way.
I am. I take my videos I put on YouTube and I edit them down and put them on Amazon.
Yeah, we got some comments here. Understand from complaints of fans and other Transformer series, they're tired of G1, but it remains one of brings in the money. Yes, I agree with that. I'm sorry, I took the questions off too fast. You think that's true though, that the G1s are starting to come back really hard and bring in the money, as opposed to like the evolutions and the sieges and all that? Do you think they're doing more popular?
Look at the sales of the evolution ones. Which ones sell out the fastest? Gears sold out. Swoop sells out. I mean, that's what they want. I mean, I'm a Transformer fan that appreciates all the eras. I like all the series.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a G1er through and through, but I like Transformers all the way around. I have I think at least a figure from every line in my collection. So I'm not going to be hating on one and not the other, though I do despise the live action movies, and it's not because of the figures or anything. They're just not good movies. They're turn off your brain watch movies, but I want to have a storyline. How can you have, going on a Bay rant right now, but how can you have 40 years of content available and still fudge up the story so bad? And then when you do make the movies, each movie doesn't follow what happened in the previous movie. It's like you have to forget everything that happened. I don't know. It's just the continuity errors. And I thought we were going in a positive way with Bumblebee because we both, how many times did we see it in the theater? 4 or 5?
I think
he loved the Bumblebee
5.
movie. I did too.
I did too. I think everybody would agree in the chat that, like, as far as all the Bayverse movies and the upcoming movies are coming out, the best, as far as like best graphically designed G1 live action would have to go hands down to the Bumblebee movie. The first 10 minutes of it alone to me was like, okay, I'm invested. Then it went into everything else. I'm like, I mean, the positive behind the rest of the movie was the fact that, yeah, we got to see Bumblebee as a Volkswagen Bug. Got to see Optimus Prime with the full 9 yards in the 80s version that we really wanted to see him in. But yeah, as far as story content is concerned, you're absolutely right. We deserved better than that. I mean, the Bayverse had the crappy designs. Bumblebee, great designs. Rise of the Beast, I don't know how to feel about that one. How'd you feel about that one, Rise of the Beast?
I watched it once, never watched it again. Could care less.
Oof, that's a big one.
And I'm a Beast Wars fan. To me, it was just rehash of the same stuff over and over again. You got the giant sky beam. You got the big battle at the end with all the CGI bad guys that look exactly the same, the cannon fodder. You knew what was going to happen. If you think about it, the end was the Avengers.
Yeah.
If you watch the original, think about the original ending of the first Avengers movie, and you think of Rise of the Beast, same thing.
Yeah. I gotta agree with you on that one. I mean, actually, I won't lie. The only thing I looked forward to, and I didn't even go to the theaters and see it because I was like, okay, there's a new character, I'll give it a chance, but it didn't draw me enough to where I was going to sit down, pay $12 or $15 in the theater on a comfy chair, which has got vibrations now, from what I understand, to fall asleep and then wake up 2 hours later saying what happened, and somebody tell me.
It would be fun, now that Dylan's not in here, to watch Rise of the Beast and take a shot every time they say, Brooklyn, baby.
Oh, God. We'd be smashed on the floor. I mean, everything's in New York. I'm like, why can't they go back to where it all started? They crash landed in the desert, or not the desert, looked like Utah or something like that. Nothing against Utah people. I forgot, where did they crash land?
I think it was Oregon in the comics.
I think so too. Because I wanted to say Devil's, like somewhere's around Devil's Tower.
Mount St. Hilary. I don't know if that's a real place or not, but that's where they crashed in the comics.
Right. It's just like, we deserve the quality content that they gave us back in the 80s. And hopefully somebody will do it. Maybe this new movie will give us something. If not, the kids will love it. All right, so I got this other question from Diecast Norbs over here. Which is favorite live action? I'm between Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts.
Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah, I got to agree. Bumblebee. Just for the G1, and now here's another one too. The fact that
I just read Norb's comment. I know what he's getting at because I zing him all the time.
Uh-oh. I mean,
that super happy guy. Dylan, you got the blue glasses. Give you the happy birthday.
What did he say?
Grateful that the huge pile of cash for the live action movies made for the Transformers as a brand also introduced Transformers to a new generation. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it does introduce it to a new generation. It's, as long as they do the story.
Hooking me up, I getting alerts. He's going to give me a step-by-step how to fix Shockwave. This might be my project after I finish my job. What I'm going on at work right now.
And what else we got over here? Like the Travis Knight to give us his take on Transformers. I think most of us wanted a whole movie made out from beginning of Bumblebee. Interesting. What else we got here? Southwest, you say? Okay, absolutely. Okay, so here's on for my Iconus. Off topic, have you tried the MT Dew Purple Thunder yet?
I haven't seen it in zero. I only drink zero or diet. I've lost 30 pounds, man. I'm not going back.
But you're still going to go after the heat challenges, right? Because I know the one chip challenge you and
that's sugar free.
Yeah, I'll look it up too. My wife works in the store, and she said, "Hey, would Patriot be interested in this hot gummy bear?" I'm like, "Well, how hot is it?" She's like, yeah, it's about." I've seen it firsthand, and the best way I could describe it, it's about as big height-wise. And I want to zoom in to give you like a description, but height-wise, about the size of this guy, aimed like this.
Gummy bear?
This is a gummy bear. I'm not kidding. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I'm like, that's a huge gummy bear.
Well, of course, that's going to be hot. I wouldn't want to eat a regular gummy bear that big.
That was just, they said, yeah, that's a challenge and a half, and you can find it at certain stores. But
I said zero just came out.
And he's like, refuse to drink the diet.
I'm zero sugar.
Yeah, I try to stay away from the other ones like Diet Pepsi and all that stuff because of the saccharin or anything else in it. But as long as everything is good for, healthy, do that. Any liquid or what is this? Any liquid or something for loose joints besides pledge or floor care. There you go. Clean the pipes for you.
Dad,
Yo.
I was wearing this all day and I just noticed this.
What is it?
It's a thing that if you don't get run over a car.
Oh,
that's
reflective.
We go from Transformers to basically talking about diet sodas.
That train derails, man, just like all my chats.
You know what? As long as everybody's enjoying it, that is basically the premise of this show, to get things out there and get to know you better as well. So here's another question for you. Do you feel that what you do, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Do you feel that what you and other YouTuber collectors do, bring the collector community stronger together? Do you feel like that's something when you go out there and you do your streams that you're embracing more people to come out of their shells and say, hey, I'm a Transformer fan, I'm a collector. This guy is, airing it on, all over the world to see.
Buddy, when you go to TFCon, you will see firsthand what this has done for the community. Your mind, pow. I don't even go anymore to TFCons for the voice actors or the toys. I'm going to hang out. That's my thing.
That is awesome. I can't wait.
I love every minute of it.
And as far as like CosmiCon, speaking of cons, how was that for you? I know that was a little bit out of the element for you because it was like a lot based on anime and stuff, but how did you enjoy the con itself?
Me?
Yeah.
Both you actually.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not my thing, but I made some connections. So that's what a lot of things you go cons for. You got to network. And so my plan is I found that there's a toy store 50 miles from here. And I'm in talks with him to do a live stream at his shop. So cool. After everything's done, that's going to happen sometime in June. Dylan, I'll just go hang out because they got the games and the cards that he likes. And he's going to get me some deals on some Transformers. And I'll just do a live show from his shop. And I think that'll be really cool.
Awesome deal. Oh, man. That's the one thing. You're going to be in temptation. That's for sure. I mean, no, I don't care what anybody says. You get into a toy store, you're a collector. You're like circling the aisles like
even stuff you don't collect, you're still like, whoa. Or especially the vintage stuff. I remember that. I remember the member berries, man. They come back.
Oh, geez. What else did they have? Mask. That was a popular topic with everybody.
Was sitting in my lap. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
And like Mask. I mean, we all remembered Mask. I don't care. It had involved cars. It involved like jets. It involved everything possible. It was like, one of my friends said, oh, that was the ghetto G.I. Joe version.
I'm really surprised that line hadn't come back.
I know. I thought the Camaro. What was it? Was it a Camaro that flew?
I think so. The Tiger
was designed to be a Camaro. Yep, you had that. You had the rig.
It was kind of a lame vehicle. You think about it. The doors just went up like a DeLorean. The little thing slid out. My favorite was what was the copter jet? The Switchblade.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, I forgot his name, but the rip-off Cobra Commander, I called him.
Miles Mayhem. I
Miles
remember
Mayhem,
that.
yep.
Him and Slaughter Steelgrave was a couple of the best names ever for 80s villains. Bonus points. What's Slaughter Steelgrave from?
Oh, crud. What is it? I want to say Sergeant Slug G.I. Joe, but I'm wrong. I don't remember. Come on, think. Star. Oh, what was it? Star something, rather.
Steelgrave. Let me give you a hint. He was a robot.
Oh my God! I want to say. It wasn't Silverhawks. I'm trying to think. Oh God! It's been years.
They even had a comic book. I'm not sure if they had a cartoon though. The figures had wind-up features.
Oh Jesus! You're killing me. I can't remember. You have to give me this one. You have to answer this one for me because
Star Wars.
Okay, I don't remember watching too much of that, but I do remember.
I had the comic book, and I just thought that is the coolest name ever. Slaughter Steelgrave.
It is. I mean,
Rock Lord.
I feel embarrassed.
Rock Lord. I never showed you this.
See if anybody else is out here.
You told me about that, but you never showed me it.
Okay, so here's one. He's on his way out. Okay. Switchblade. I'm trying to come through all the comments and everything else. I'm sorry for splurging on this one. Star Wars.
Yep, that was it. Star Wars. Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I never had any of those figures. There he is.
I missed a question, but I'm just going to go winging on this one. So, outside of Transformers, you're also a horror fan. And was there anything what was your favorite? This is a two-parter for you. So the first one is what was your all-time favorite horror genre or movie? And the second one is if you I have a feeling I know what it is. Which one?
Slashers.
Yep, slashers.
You can't be an 80s fan without liking slashers.
Oh God, there was I grew up on what was it? Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Chud. Grew up on Jason, Freddy, Phantasm.
Piece I'm really careful with.
Who's your all-time favorite slasher though?
Mr. Voorhees, of course.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my name is Jason. I was born on Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th.
And did you have anything collectible outside of Transformers that was horror related? Did you ever get yourself a Jason figure?
There is a ton
doll
right here. I don't know if you can see the mask right here.
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in. Yep. Nice.
And I got Jason part 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not getting them down. I can't reach them. If I get them down, I'm not going to. They're going to get up there.
It's okay, Dylan. A majority of the
wait.
Of the people here.
Yeah, that's what I was about.
Oh, he's going to do it. Wow. Yep. And all I have was Freddy versus Jason. Terminator, yep.
Predators. See, y'all don't see this stuff.
Oh, nice. You got gargoyles, too.
Holding the Death Star. That's my ceiling.
Yep.
There's me.
You know, one thing we compare, because I remember seeing a post that you did on Facebook a couple of days ago. You were saying it was a picture that you were working, and then it was a picture of a movie theater, and you're like, "Yep, this is the theater that saw Star Wars, back in the '70s and stuff like that." So, and we're mentioning how we felt about the Transformers movies. Do you feel that Hollywood should wake up and basically say, "Hey, get some people that know what the heck they're doing, and write the material that we need"?
Quit listening to the corporations and the producers, and make movies we want to see.
Because it's hard.
It's bombing right now. They're just, I don't know. I don't want to get you know where I'm going to kind of go.
Yep.
It just sucks anymore. They just do. I don't know. It's so corporate. I mean, they're not making movies to sell the movie and the story. Let's make the movie and sell all the products and everything. I don't know.
I used to like. So, what do you think as far as a toy line is concerned? Like, what is the best toy line that's out there? Like, for example, Takara Tomy, Hasbro, Kenner, Playmates. Like, what was one of your favorite ones?
I'm only into the Transformers, and I do the main line. I don't do a lot of third party. I don't do a lot of Chinese or Japanese, Takara Tomy. So I really couldn't answer that.
Okay.
I like the way the Transformers is going, but like everybody else, I'm noticing, this was a $15 figure a few years ago. Now it's 25, and this is a bad example because this is actually a really good figure. But some of them they're so gappy anymore, and the pieces are hollow, and some of them break right out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I got impressed with, I was surprised at actually more than anything else, was the Bumblebee or the Bumblebee movie line releasing all the concept art figures. Like the first one that grabbed my attention, and I didn't even realize it was out until I saw your view on it, your video for Megatron, concept art Megatron. I looked at it, I was like, okay, the tank could have been a whole lot better. The alternate jet mode or the spaceship mode, all right, that's good. But as far as bot mode, oh my God, I love that.
He was fantastic. He didn't need to be a triple changer. They would have focused on one mode. I think would have helped those a little better. Everything doesn't need to be a triple changer. Yep.
And then from there, we actually got Sunstreaker, which surprised me because originally I was like, do I want Sunstreaker from a Bumblebee Origins movie? But then I saw some people do it, and they were like, it's pretty good. You should check it out. Shout out to Raz and shout out to Norbs. I ended up getting it. I was like, okay, awesome. And then they did Sideswipe from the video game concept art, and I'm like looking at like pairing these guys side by side.
I didn't fart. I was cracking my back just in case somebody was wondering.
Wait, what?
So no, I did like this. I want to make sure people didn't think I was farting. You would have told them. I know how.
Here we go. Big M has got one for you here. If I can get this highlighted here, because everything's shifting so fast. Used to collect Masters of the Universe Origins.
No, I've actually sold quite a few of my figures off to Inu Tabi. I mean, I still got them. They're on display, but just got to the point where I'd never see them in the store. I'm tired of buying. I don't like buying everything online, but when you go in and all these new figures and there's nothing, I miss hunting, man. I miss going to the stores and finding things. Of course, you guys probably know all I've got a Walmart, I've got an Ollie's, and $45 General. So I don't have a lot of options where I'm at.
You got more options than we do. We got a Walmart or Target and about, in fact,
my closest Target's 2 hours away.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I thought they would at least have it in your area or something. It's just the date, and believe me, you're not missing much. Like the shelves, I went there this morning and they had basically the Earth Spark figures and maybe one chase, one chase. Then after that, it was just all one changers, and if you're lucky, maybe a core class. It hasn't really done much in our area.
Well, of course, right now, I like the United line. I like the fact it's giving almost every fandom a figure, but I'm saving money with United. I'm pretty much only getting Beast Wars and G1 because I have no connection to some of those. I've watched the shows. I know who some of the figures are, but there's just not that connection again. So like a lot of this wave, it's just came out. I'm like, whatever. And of course, I have a lot of people, aren't you going to buy it to review it? And I was like, no, that's a lesson I learned a long time ago. I do not buy stuff just to review anymore. That's an expensive habit to get into, and you're stuck with a lot of crap you don't want.
And speaking of that, Black Tower just said, do you take responsibility for all new Transformer addiction from watching your reviews?
I don't know. I've never lost sleep over it.
Hey, we all have choices we got to make, guys. You know, nobody puts a gun to our head.
Complain they hate me because of Toyhax videos. I thought my figures were fine.
As long as people don't blame you for it, that's the main thing. So, at Patriot Prime Reviews, what do you think about the new Missing Link Bumblebee Cliff Jumper and the new Optimus Prime Hot Wheels collab?
Okay, Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, I think they're cool. I'm not getting them. I mean, Prime, to me, I don't know if you saw my video on this one when I opened it up for the first time. It was one of those videos where I have to shoot this as my experience with him because, you know, Prime was one of the first Transformers you ever had, and then you get this guy which just is an amazing upgrade from that figure. My mind was blown. So I don't feel I'm going to feel the same with Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. Besides, they still, even though with all the articulation, they look goofy with the wheels and everything. And I don't know. I just think the magic happened with this guy. And it'd be neat to see some of the others. I don't really care that much for the mini bots. Maybe being Missing Link. Now, Missing Link Soundwave would probably be cool. But I don't know about them. I mean, nothing against those who like those figures. But for me, I'm not dropping the money on them. You are getting heavy, son.
All right, so here's one. Not Transformers, though. Do you have a holy grail collectible that you have that means so much to you? Like, how could I put it in a way? Like, it has a personal attachment to you. Wasn't Transformers, but a personal attachment that, say, like, you had something going on and, you just picked it up and you just had a bond with it.
Hold on. I've got it right here.
Wait, what is it?
Something, a figure or something that has meaning to you. Let me get my old man specs on for a second so I can remember what the year this is.
Uh-oh. You having fun, Dylan?
Huh?
You having fun? Having a good time, at least? I know there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people reaching out to you as well. If anybody got questions for Dylan, please let him,
All right, there's no date on this. I think I dated it once, early 70s. My Flash Gordon spaceship.
Oh, wow.
From Tootsie Toys. It's die-cast metal on top. You got the translucent windows right there. Plastic underneath. It's got the wheels. So, yeah, Flash Gordon.
That is beautiful.
Remember when I played with that in the bathtub all the time?
I know. I'm not a fan. I caught you. So, yeah.
Somebody had to do it. Sovereign had to do it. And Dylan, what's yours? What's your favorite toy that you're attached to that means a lot to you? That
Actually, that same one that he had. Well, no.
I was about to say.
That like.
No, your
Wait,
favorite
like-
toy. Is there anything in your room that's a favorite of yours?
My favorite toy that I have.
Yeah, it's yours.
yeah,
Not
it's something
mine.
that's completely all yours and it means so much. Like something like your mom or your dad gave you, and it was like a special, like it bonded with you, attached with you, and you're like, you know what? I'll have this for the rest of my life.
This never comes off your arm.
I don't really want
Okay.
to. Thanks, though. I don't really know. Oh.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There's a lot.
I have one. Well,
Oh, you
there's
do.
these little Pokemon Funko Pops I have, and there's one that I have that's my favorite Pokemon. They're like this big,
Mhm.
and you know what an elf on the shelf is?
Yes.
My elf on the shelf got me all of them, and my favorite one is my favorite one, like one I have.
Go get it and show them. Yeah, where you can get it.
Yeah, it's just.
Remember,
like,
this is like a show and tell. This is pretty cool. He is going to step on all these figures down here.
Sovereign said that whoops, it didn't yellow, and that's impressive for a toy from the 70s with plastic back in those days.
I don't know if it's like the plastic like we're used to. It's kind of pliable.
Looks like quality.
Yeah.
I had a Millennium Falcon back when they released it in '79. Once to the Empire Strikes Back era, and it kind of yellowed, and I ended up painting it and all that, blah blah blah. But that was something that was like, wow.
I don't know. It was deflated. I shut the door.
We'll have to check it out.
Me and Peter were playing on it.
Maybe you popped it and the valve came loose.
Like which one?
I don't know. There's multiple valves. I'll take a look at it. Excuse me later.
These older toys from the 70s. Yeah, it is true. You have to be tested for lead paint.
Nah, I suck on mine just to see. I like the flavor.
I don't care. Lead poisoning back in the 70s was a myth to me, because if that was the case, I should be dead by now with all that crap that they put into it. Like I said, I had Millennium Falcon, like a Tonka truck. I mean, I think every kid growing up in the 70s and 80s had to have had a big old Devastator-sized version of a Tonka truck.
Yep.
In that bright yellow, and destroyed it in every possible way, and it just kept coming back saying, nope. Only way you're going to get rid of me is by selling it to somebody else.
You want me to show it now?
Yeah.
Oh, this is for me. What's my favorite Transformer?
There's his thing.
Can you zoom in, maybe?
Yes, I will. Let me move this question out of the way. I'll answer that in a bit. And it's all you, Dylan.
Where's the camera? Like
Right here. Down. There you go.
It's a Cubone one, and my Elf on the Shelf got me like every known Pokemon, and this is my favorite one.
That is cool. That was what's the name again? Because I'm like
Cubone.
Cubone. Yep, Diecast just corrected me on that one too. Yeah, Darth Ravage is like nice. You're a big time fan of Funko Pops. I see.
Mhm.
Oh, he's got a huge Funko. Him and his mom, huge Funko Pop collection.
Patriot, I feel for you. I feel for you. Believe me, my wife. She's just, I'll only get one Funko Pop because I like it. And I'll send you a picture one day of what my wife's got. It's scary. I mean, it's legitimately scary.
Dylan has a huge collection. We just recently redid his room. We just haven't put him up yet.
It's does he take them out of the box or does he keep them in box?
He is wanting to take him out of the box now, and I keep telling him they look better in the box, but he wants to take him out.
It's a tricky one, Dylan, honestly, because my wife is the same way. She doesn't want to keep. She wants to keep them in the box. Me, I'm like, you save a lot more room if you just take them out. But to each their own, and whatever they feel is the best way to display them, as long as you love them, right?
Yes.
That is a cyber key.
And here's a good question. How do you clean all those collectibles? Feather duster, air can, or something else?
Air can, feather duster, end dust, you name it, you clean it. Most of my shelves back there are gray. And that's why so I can go a little longer. But the black ones, when I reviewed Triptychon, I actually have, I didn't show it in my video, I have 2 Triptychons. One I keep in robot mode on one display, and then one I have down there with all the Toyhax decals I keep in city mode, because that's where the Toyhax decals really show. And so he's displayed with all of my MicroMasters. That was a pain in the butt. When I pulled all that out to dust everything, that was a pain. But yeah, a lot of dusting. It's like every now and then I'll just pick a shelf. Let's dust this one.
Did you hear that?
What?
I felt it too. It was like a.
It's probably a ghost.
And yep, Ninja Bill's like release them from their cardboard prisons. I don't know. That's when it comes to those Funko Pops, it's a tricky one. Like I said, some people love to take them out. Other ones like to keep them in.
I mean, I keep the boxes. It's just I don't like them in it.
But it looks better. You got the artwork there on the box. I mean, look at that. That looks beautiful.
There's more.
They can stack.
I know that's the thing, but I'm gonna when I get more shelves, I'm also gonna get a shelf for all my One Piece stuff.
Okay.
Like
you have your One Piece displayed in a window. You can't display figures in a window.
Why?
Because the sun will bleach them.
Yep.
And fade them out.
Wait, really?
Yep. Am I right? Always true. You don't put them in the sun.
Yep. Never put them in the sun. You know what? What's your theory on the yellow, like plastic yellowing? Because I know you had that experience with the Studio Series Spike, but everybody that I've asked had to say like different views on like why stuff yellowed and like the plastic yellow.
I think they're going with cheaper plastic.
Cheaper plastic and
going cheap.
Like which was the ones from the I want to say I know the newer lines like Cyclonus yellowed on me like crazy, and that was the only one. Did you have any in your with the Siege Earthrise?
Not any of the new stuff. I've kind of lucked out with those.
That's good. Got quality plastic. That's just like everybody had. I think, like I said, the only one that you did have an issue with, and you bought it. Was it twice or 3 times? 3 times for Spike. And that review, guys, if you haven't seen it, you want a good laugh. And
10 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see the behind the scenes that one, just like this piece of throw it across the room kind of deal. So, all right, what else we got here? Keep all Transformers out of the sun, away from windows. Haven't had any problems with yellowing. I've never had them by the windows. I went with that whole theory too. It's like, maybe that's what's causing it. But like you said, it could be cheap plastic as well. And what else we got? Sovereign. Just got retrobite a couple of my figures, like Sakones. Quit Judge.
I've noticed because I'm going to do my Target Master review or G1 Target Masters, and I've got one I retrobrited a few years ago, and it's already back to the way it was. So I'll review it as is. I mean, hell, they're almost 40-year-old toys. They're not going to look perfect.
Now, if I'm thinking the same thing when you're talking about retro, here, let me zoom in on that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can see a little bit of the tinge on it. Yeah. Now with the retro
G1 Jets.
Now, when you talk about that, because I've seen videos where people like restore toys in their color when like it's yellow, like everything from PlayStations, Ataris to like Joe.
Really good at it. He's like the man.
And it's just like the whole black light, and you have to use black light and what is that chemical? Oh, sorry.
I love this jet.
That is so cool. If it wasn't for and that's the problem with being a collector. It's just so much stuff you want to get, but so little space you have. But you also got to say to yourself, you know what? I got to choose one and one only and let somebody else worry about it later.
That's like everybody's talking about, oh, you need to get both the missing link primes. I'm like, no, I don't. I said, it's, for those who like the G1 toy aspect, it's cool, but you're paying $130 for the figure. And for me, it's coming with that trailer, and the trailer's just the trailer. I mean, it's got the little neat that the drone can detach. But all of my trailers, I don't know if you can see them, they're stored under that bottom shelf. I call it my trailer part.
Here, let me.
So I'm not paying all. See them right there below Triptychon?
Yep.
I've got all my Prime trailers just under there at my trailer park. And I'm not paying that money anymore just to put something right there. This guy, I can take him out. I can put him on the shelf, pose him, whatever. And I don't mind the animated look. I've got G1. I don't need to have the G1 missing link. It's cool to have now a G1 animated Prime. So I'm a collector, but I'm not that collector. I don't have to have doubles of everything. And, it has to be this. I'm also frugal.
All right. So before, I just want to answer this one for Black Tower. He's asking me. I was like, it's about Patriot here. It's about Patriot, not me. This man. Please ask questions. Favorite Transformer toy line? So I'm gonna say something that's gonna probably be like, what? Really? I actually enjoyed the RID 2015 line. And the only reason why is because I enjoyed the story. It introduced a new character with strong arm. They were fun to like transform. They were fun to like just mess around with. I mean, it wasn't anything extravagant.
The cons were animal based. I did like the tractor guy. That was a unique character.
Yep. I mean, the storyline was
horn, something like that.
Yep. I mean, the storyline was gimmicky, but like when you got the hands on, like physically got like, I got strong arm from that line, a Grimlock, which was like, okay, you made him a Decepticon, and then he transitioned to an Autobot later, which was a very interesting twist to the story.
Thunder.
But I just enjoyed the line. I was like, this is actually fun. Come home from work, you're stressed out, watching some stuff, and then it's like, I'm still and I like to do puzzle stuff. But long story short, I thought 2015 RID was good. I mean, not to take away from any other line that's come out that's more accurate to what we're expecting. But as far as like had a great time messing around just for ha-has, I enjoyed RID 2015. But I enjoy every other series, but I think that was like just to get away from it all line. All right, now we're back to Mr. Prime here. So, guys, ask questions or I will get the last one. Yeah. All right, so I'll just do the last one. And it is, if you had any advice to anybody that wants to start their own channel, focus on like what they do, what would you advise them? What would you tell them to, like, hey, this is what I would do, or like, how would you word it in your way?
Like what? People wanting to start off doing it?
Yeah, like say, like, I want to start doing reviews because, like, I had a couple of people like, when are you going to do reviews, Ultra? And the one thing I was like, you know what? I've seen your behind the scenes. I've seen everybody's behind the scenes. And I know you got to focus on time, you got to focus on material and how you're comfortable. So I guess that's what I'm saying is like, if it's not me, but like anybody else, what would you tell them if they want to start a YouTube channel?
If you want to start a YouTube channel, just do it. I mean, you're the only person stopping yourself, and it's not hard to do. All you need is you got a phone. There's your camera. You can go to Lowe's and buy, lamps. There's your lights. I mean, you don't need a lot. I've got 3 lamps here. I've got a ring light, and I've got like a white sheet I use as my background. It's marine vinyl I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't have an elaborate setup. I think the most expensive thing I bought for my setup is my editing program. I love editing. And then just go for it. You will learn as you go. I mean, watch some of my earlier videos. I mean, it's cringy.
No, I remembered like watching, like when I started like watching more of the videos and stuff. The one thing that caught my eye was you had Real American from Hulk Hogan's theme, and I'm like, oh, he's a wrestling fan. Oh yeah, I gotta check this guy out. And yeah, you had background when you were in the military and everything else, so it was like, I guess it was back then. It was a little more simpler to do reviews and like editing as compared to today, with everything coming out being more high tech. Or is it just me?
I've kept it, at least in my mind, I've kept it simple. I use the same editing program I've used since the beginning. I've changed my approach on how to do them. Like there for a while, I would always do an intro with me, the figure, and then do an outro with me. And then after a while, I did that for a few years, and I thought, why am I doing the double outro? I don't need to do everything again and just so I'm looking at me. So now I'm focusing on your intros with me, and then I go to the figure. And I thought a long time ago when I wanted to do videos, I love being in front of the camera. I learned that in Iraq. I did a lot of filming overseas. And I thought, I don't want to just be a set of hands. There's so many people. That's all you see is the hands. I want you to know me. And that's where it comes into play. Like you on a TFCon, people recognize me. It's not just the voice. They recognize me, because that way it adds some personality. It adds some, I don't know. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it's me talking to you. I'm welcoming you into my life. I'm welcome, and I'm going to show and tell my figure. And I just feel that way we get, in a way, we kind of get to know each other. And so that's what I decided to do. And it worked, because there for a while, I thought, to save time, because I have to set up for the front shot. They have to break everything down and set up for the video. And I thought for a while, I was just going to, okay, I'm not going to worry about shooting me anymore. Let's just focus on the figure. The comments going, where's you? Why are you not talking to us? And so I came, you were one of them.
I think, yep, I was one of them.
I brought it back, and it works, and that's what I'm sticking with. And you can also tell that I've gotten rid of the hat. The hat was like my calling card for the longest time. And what cracked me up was when I went to TFCon in Orlando. I didn't wear a hat because it was hot as shit in Orlando for this West Virginia guy. And so many people will go, "You have hair?" Because everybody thought I was bald because I always wore the hat. So, yeah, I'm 50, man. I got hair. It's not gray. So,
oh my God.
A funny story about the hat is I first started doing these videos when I was doing that casino security job. And I'd come home from work and I'd sleep pretty much the whole morning away, maybe wake up mid-afternoon. That's when I'd shoot my videos. And I'd wake up with bedhead. And what's the easiest way to fix bedhead? Throw the hat on.
Yep.
And so when I was doing Patriot Prime, let's use my veteran hat. So the hat became the thing. And then I went on and got the hat with the logo. And then I've just kind of slowly gotten rid of the hat. I thought for a while to get rid of the hoo-ah. That didn't go over well either.
And speaking of which, now I think about it, like Patriot, when you came up with the name Patriot Prime, was that something was suggested to you, or you came up with it yourself?
That was a nickname that I got at a Transformer convention in 2013 because of this.
Yep, I remember seeing the picture of you posing with the tattoo next to an Optimus Prime. Okay.
Because that was a Transformer convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was in August. It was hot. I had just got this done about a month earlier. I wore a tank top. And I had so many people taking a picture of that. And there was a couple of guys I befriended who were running the convention. and one of them kept calling me Patriot Prime. So when I was trying to think up a channel name, because you'd see so many channels that were just a name and some numbers, because one of my earlier email addresses, I was Action Figure 73, and that was going to be the name of my channel, Action Figure 73. And I got to thinking, I was like, that doesn't have the ring to it. I want something that pops. Right. And it's just driving home from work one day, I thought, Patriot Prime, that's perfect. And then I thought, I'm going to call myself Patriot Prime Reviews. That way it's the name drop in every title. Patriot Prime Reviews, Shockwave. Patriot Prime Reviews, Swoop. Patriot Prime Review. So it's a way to throw in my name in every title that I do.
And it works because I can't see any other. Like, first I would say, like, yeah, when I see you, yes, I see you as Patriot Prime. I can't see you as Jason, the toy collector, or any other. You are Patriot Prime. The end. You have your, you have your real life, but as far as the YouTube life is concerned, I don't think anybody else can envision you other than Patriot Prime. It's like the name sticks with you. It fits you perfectly. Everybody's names have like links to people and their personalities, and I think that is one of the most creative and perfect names for you.
The worst part about my name is I got into YouTube in 2017 during the great political upheaval where everybody was hating everybody. And I got so much hate comments from people because of my name, Patriot. I almost quit YouTube because I was getting death threats. I was getting...
Are you serious?
I was called every name in the book just because of my name, Patriot. And I will give Bert the Stormtrooper huge credit because I would vent to him. I would be like, I do toy reviews. I try to get on here and have a good time. And that's all I talk about. I have never once mentioned anything political in any one of my videos ever. There's enough of that bullshit in the world. Sorry. And to be constantly attacked like that. I mean, it went on for months during my second year on YouTube.
Right.
And then Bert finally, he's like, man, just keep doing what you're doing. You will develop your following. You people will see, and never bow down to them, never cave to them, which I never did. I never apologized for anything. I just kept laser focused. And then I hit my stride in year 3 and I've never looked back. And they just stopped. Every now and then I'll get the random thing, but that's what the block button's for. You comment like that, I will block you immediately because I don't have time for it.
Exactly. And it's a real shame that people have to go out of their way to try and like demoralize or ruin somebody's work and channel because, you put Patriot, well, guess what, folks? Patriot Prime can live in, the Soviet Union. He can live in France. He can live anywhere else. Guess what? Every country's got a Patriot. So what? Don't be offended. This is what he is. He represents his country. You can have Patriot Sullivan from Canada. You can have anybody with that name, but it's all about what we do, and that's reviewing toys and collectible items. So if anybody out there's got a problem with that, too bleeping bad. Bleep them if you can't take a joke. So here's a question for you from.
They'll never come up to me face to face and say it.
Yeah, it's just like nah.
It's nice being 6'4".
I'm only 6 foot nothing, but I'm a weepy guy. But anyways, what is your favorite female Transformer? And I'm going to try and get a couple other comments here from others that
I guess that's me, RC. I mean, RC's everybody's one. I mean,
wait, you got death threats?
See if I can find another, because we had some good questions pop up. And yes, he's 6'4". He just said it. And we're going to try not to do. Here's a good one. Shatterglass Patriot Prime from USSR.
Comrade Prime. Comrade Prime Review.
Patriot Ivan.
Good. Maybe one of these. I've done the Redneck Prime. I've done the Australian Prime. May have to do Soviet Prime one day for video.
What else we got here? And a lot of people giving you love and stuff here. And what's this one you said? How do people not understand that armed force members simply follow orders? They're doing their jobs. That's what we are. That's what we do.
I'm out of drink.
There was another one here that I wanted to bring up. It's just one thing about scrolling and editing your own stuff.
Diecast says, "No, Comrade Prime, quickly." Trying to think, what would be a good video?
Oh, here's the question. Sovereign asked, how did you come up with your logo?
Trial and error. My first logo was I took a picture of my MPO1 holding a little flag. If you look at some of my very first videos, that's the logo I used. And then I tried to get away from that because one of the things when I was first doing videos, I would always have that big logo. I have a picture of that Prime holding the flag right beside the figure I'm reviewing. So every video, it seemed to be the main focus was that Prime and the flag.
It happened again. That's what I heard earlier.
Poltergeist. And so anyway, I had people say, but you need to come up with a smaller logo to get that off the thumbnail because you want to focus on what you're reviewing. So I just went on like Word and just found a neat font and did that. And then if you Google internet, American flag, Autobot symbol, you've seen it. It's American flag, Autobot symbol. Use that for a while. And then when I went to make shirts and stuff, they're like, well, that Autobot logo is copyrighted. I was like, okay, well, went on Facebook. Hey, any graphic artists help me come up with a logo. And I had a couple different ones hit and I tried them out. Didn't really like them. I think if you go on my Patriot Prime Facebook page a few weeks ago, I have a picture of every one of those. And then there was a guy, I honestly forget where he was from, but he came up with this and I absolutely love it. I mean, it's just done up like the American flag. You got the stars in the corner. It's Prime doing the salute. It's not copyrighted. Well, it's mine now. And then it worked with the Transformer font logo with, instead of the Autobot insignia, it was that. And I just thought that is freaking perfect. And there we go. It took about 3 years in before I got that.
And it's a logo that we could definitely make. It's that logo identifies you no matter what. You can have your back turned. If that logo is on your back, hey, Patriot Prime right there. You're damn right.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I don't know who that is. I'm kidding. Love that logo. So here's another question for you. What's your favorite coffee brand?
He hates coffee.
Monster Energy.
So, like, what was your first, like, since we talked about cons and con before, was there any other cons, like your first con? What was that like for you when you got it?
That was amazing. That's when I realized there are way more people like me than I thought. Because you think about it, when you're a collector, you're a toy collector, everybody is going to think of you like the comic book guy from The Simpsons. And there for the longest time, I hid the fact I collected. When I was buying figures, I was always buying them for my little brother, my little cousin, you know. And I remember when I was dating my wife, we'd go to the mall. She's in the store, and I'd be like, I'm going to go run over to GNC or something. And as I'm leaving, I'll look like I'm going to GNC, and I'll take that hard right into KB Toys.
I miss KB Toys. My wife misses it. That's where I got half my collection.
That was just cool. I don't care. I mean, at work, I got figures all over the place. I got a little display stand, my Patriot Prime business cards. What's that? What's my YouTube channel? What are you talking about? I talk about toys, Transformers. And that's just part of me now. And I could care less who knows if I do it or not. It's what makes me happy.
Actually, I got to take a look at your logo again because Kit Catastrophe brought up something. 13 stripes represent the 13 primes rather than the colonies. And I was looking at it, I was like, now I got to look at your logo and be like, how many stripes are there now? I'm thinking about it. So that's a good point. That's a good way to go.
I never thought of that.
That's a good one.
There were 13 primes in Transformers history.
How many stripes?
So what was your first con that you ever went to?
You're going to laugh at the name. Hold on. Hold down. All right. It was in 2013. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, okay? Mm-hmm. So they decided to call it Sharticon. Okay? Sharticon. The whole idea was the Sharkticons. but you don't think about that.
I give him credit. It's original.
But I even have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I even kept my. I need to dust that shelf. I've got my original badge that I wore on my lanyard. Back before I was Patriot, I would say Patriot Prime today. And then I have. I got the shit. Got the little pin. They had these really cool Sharktacon logos. And
they did a good job. It's creative still.
And I have their original exclusive figure that you could only get at Sharktacon right there. They only made 75. I got one.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Sharktacon was a one and done. They tried to do it again and it fell through. It ended up being TFCon later on, but I didn't go to my first TFCon until 2019.
How was that experience when you went to TFCon in 2019? Was that that was the mind blower, right?
Yep.
That is so cool. Dylan, you ever plan on going to any more conventions with your dad, or are you going to sneak away and be like, nah, I'm going to go with my friends? Because I know kids tend to say either you're really close.
There's part of me that would like to take him to TFCon, but I don't think he would be into it because it's all Transformers. He likes the anime. He likes all this different stuff. I just don't think he would be into it. Plus, his old man's going to be hanging out and friends and networking and being me. So I don't know.
Dylan, I promise you, there's cons out there that will be to your liking. Around my areas, we had one called Anime Next. There's an Anime New York. So believe me when I tell you.
Around here, we've got Comic-Con coming up, Roanoke Comic-Con coming up, Huntington Comic. There's all kinds if you actually look. And that's what he would like, those where, I want the con specific. I want transport conventions.
I'll say this. If they ever came out with TFCon Virginia, I think you'd be the hometown hero for that one.
Well, shit. I just found it on my desk.
He's not lying, guys.
Man, come on. I got to clean up after sludge. Oh, and I live in West Virginia. That's a separate state.
That is true. Yes. My apologies.
I get that all the time. What part of Virginia you live in? I don't. No part.
If they ever did, though, in West Virginia, you'd definitely be the hometown hero. Do you think they'll ever will do a TFCon in West Virginia?
I doubt.
Or do you think it's too small?
Way too small.
Here's one. Good question, actually. Since you're ex-military, why'd you pass over collecting G.I. Joes?
Growing up, I was into Transformers. My brother was into G.I. Joes. He was also in the military, and he does still collect G.I. Joes. And so I have all the G.I. Joe comics. I have all the G.I. Joe episodes on DVD. I just never got in to collecting the figures. Now, when he was little, we played together. I was always Cobra. And I don't know. I just never got into collecting G.I. Joe. It's like even growing up, we were one specific thing. My brother, G.I. Joe, Transformers for me, She-Ros for my sister. You just farted on my leg, didn't you?
Well, we're not PG tonight, so.
I just saw you fart.
It was like a squeak.
I know it was a squeaker. And here comes the dog. It's like you called him.
Oh, my Lord. I can't even answer the question.
Come on. He invites us to stream and you fart. Come on, man.
Dylan, you made that exciting for tonight, man. That's going to be like the highlight of the night.
You know I'm going to find this section of this video and we'll use that as a super chat. Thanks.
So how long do you think you're going to see yourself doing this stuff, reviewing Transformers?
Hey, man, as long as I can. I love it. I enjoy it. It's an extension of my hobby. And I love doing things like this. I love meeting new people. Because there's nobody around here that does this. So it's all my friends live in the internet.
Oh, I'm not even going to post that one comment because it's not true. No, Princeton, it is not the same. Nope. You tell the person that.
Look over there for a second.
Why?
What's that right there?
And yeah, I mean, do you also game a little bit, or do you did you used to game back at?
Oh, I gamed. What are you talking? You talking video games?
Yeah, video games.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody just put something about Fallout 76 takes place in West Virginia.
Sure does.
Is that something that you...
And there's a resort in the game that I worked at. That's the casino I worked at.
Oh, no kid.
I haven't downloaded. I heard 76 sucked, so I never downloaded it. But I hear it's gotten better, so I might try it. I've re-downloaded 4, and I've been playing it lately.
Let's see what else we got over here. Can you find any decent pizza in West Virginia?
Yes. There's all kinds of good pizza places around here.
It's Ghostmax 8. That's a buddy of mine that lives about 25 minutes away from me.
What's up, Ghostmax?
Traitor. But I've seen the food that you put on Facebook, and I'm like jealous of that. I've seen some of the creations that they got, and I'm like, why can't I get that? And now I'm beginning to see why Ghostmax.
Dark Conan, White Spring is based on White Sulphur Springs in West Virginia. Go to Google, check it out.
Okay, that's a serious question. Here we go. So, serious question: how do you keep reviewing fun? Does burnout come out easily from burning out? Yeah, I mean,
yes. You have to be in the mood to video. There's sometimes I feel stressed because I feel like I need to put out content at least every 3 days to keep it going. But if you're under that stress to film something, it's going to show in your videos. You'll feel rushed. So if you're not in the mood to video, don't. So there's a lot of times, I mean, I'll have a figure like Sandstorm. I had him for a week, messing around with him. And I was kind of, if you saw my video, I wasn't the biggest fan of that figure. But I had him, and I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and shoot it, because my intro was shot like a week before I actually filmed the figure. But he just had to be in the mood, and once I was in that good, positive mood, and I thought, even though I don't like the figure and will do my best video on it, I will make fun of the fact I don't like the figure and kind of zing it. But, you know, you got to go at it.
Yeah, I had to laugh when you when I said the comment about him, and I was like, yeah, actually, it looks like an interesting figure. And again, you're like, you serious? But yeah, Patriot did the review, and he said the same thing. It's like Sandstorm. It's like, yeah, you know, a lot of people I've heard complain about. He's not as bad as, you know, he's not that bad. Everybody, you know, I guess some people do, some people don't. I'm like, that's why I was the same way. It's like, I don't have the figure yet, but he looks interesting enough for me to get. But I completely agree on the price tag on him being way too much. And I'm going to wait to see if he comes on sale.
When I got him, and then a couple days later, I got that Voyager Shockwave.
Yeah.
Which was a more solid figure, a bigger figure. You know, he didn't transform into 3 different things, but he also didn't come with a bullshit cage and a little teeny tiny gun.
Yep.
I didn't pay $55 for him. And I just don't understand the price points anymore.
I don't either. It's ridiculous. Did you like Thundercats? Yeah, I think we brought that up before.
Yeah, that's all right.
80.
Didn't have any of the figures. The cartoon was all right.
What is this? PPR telling him not tonight. I have a headache. What? That's okay. And bought a bunch of Super Fit 7 figures. I'm trying to come up with another question because I basically came up with all, like, I got all 10 out the way. Maybe I'll ask Dylan. So, Dylan, this one's for you. Do you feel that you're going to continue going with your channel, or do you think you're going to take a little breather from it and, you know, come up with better content? Or not better content, let me rephrase that. Something that will grab. I don't know if I asked that question before, because
I think with him, I will answer your question. He is into so much stuff right now. He'll get new stuff. And I'll be like, Dylan, why don't you put this on your channel? Okay. Next thing I know, it's open and out already. It's like, you're not going to review that? Nah. He was into it for a while, and now he's not. It's like we tried to do a channel last year, Jeeping and Eating, me and Dylan going to different places to eat. And when you got a kid that only wants to eat plain cheeseburgers with bacon, it's hard to do that. But he's just into so much stuff, and I can't tell you when the last time you did film something. Exactly. Yeah.
Because you got to be in that mood for it. Just be like, one day, hey, I saw this. One thing I learned from your dad, Dylan, is that everybody does a review on one product, but it's always about how you present it to anybody out there. And
that's what got me into reviewing the newer stuff, because I wasn't going to review newer figures. I was dead set against it. I was collecting them, but I wasn't going to review them because the way I looked at it, everybody was already doing it. So I didn't need to. And then I got asked on one of my videos before I was doing lives, how come you're not, is during Siege. That's the first new line of figures I started reviewing. How come you're not reviewing Siege? Or no, I was collecting Titans Return when I was started YouTube. And they were like, how come you're not reviewing Titan Return figures? I'm like, because everybody else is. I said, nobody wants to see, or I forget how I put it, but I said, because everybody else is. So why do it? And then the guy replied back, because I want to see you do it. I want your take on the new figures. And I was like, okay, people do actually want to watch this. So that's when I started with Siege, and that was my first modern figure review. And now I just mix it up. I'll do the new stuff. If I'm out of new stuff, then I pull out the G1s. And I'm actually toying with the idea that when I started my channel, I reviewed some of my favorite G1 figures. And back when I started my channel, I sucked. So I might go back and re-review some of those figures now that I know I have a better approach with everything. And I think it may be a hit.
Did you see what that guy said a minute ago?
What guy?
It said, I have to admit, bacon cheeseburgers are yummy.
Well, they are.
Ghost Max, yep. Trying to find there was somebody that just popped up.
Yes. Do I have to be in the mood to play Toyhax? Yes. The videos I shoot are 10 minutes long. The time to take film those 10-minute videos is a while.
That's the other thing I was like noticing too. It's like I see your blooper videos, and I'm like, man, this must have taken forever for
all of my bloopers are always in the intro. It takes me forever to get the intro down. Then once I find my flow with the video, usually it just goes. My biggest thing when you see like quick edits in my videos is I have bad allergies, and I'll be talking and all of a sudden you get that gurgles in your throat.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, that must be crazy for you though. Bikini reviews.
Well, let me lose a little bit more weight first. I'm not ready to go full PPR Kini. Did you see that post? You saw that post, send me that email. We watch your videos all the time and love your, how they say, your clothing videos. I was like, when the hell have I done a clothing video? Closest you get when you see me in a Hawaiian shirt.
And what's this other one here? Do you have to get in the mood to apply Toyhax? Because I know you sponsor Toyhax a lot. Because I know like every time you advertise it. And Toyhax is awesome. But yes, one thing I remember is that it's very time consuming. So you have to be in that mood for that one too.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Rude.
Norbs, you want to do that for your first review?
What, being a bikini?
That would be, well, you get a lot of views, that's for sure. What was this? One more try. What toy line would you most like to see come back? Sorry, it's just like the comments are scrolling so fast. Yeah, what toy line would you want to see come back, if any?
I'd like to see Bravestar come back. I like that. My brother had those. Those are cool figures. Cool concept. I like the space western.
Yeah, wow, that was like 1983.
They actually make a Native American hero figure. Could they make? It's just, I don't know.
I would love to see, geez, Silverhawks with better storylines, because those are cool characters. I know you've talked about them before.
Man, I watched. There's a Amazon Prime has a retro cartoon channel now. It just plays them constantly. I caught Silverhawks the other day. That's a hard watch. It didn't age very well.
Yeah, that's another one too. How do you like? If anything from the past that you've watched cartoons, aside from like you feel like Transformers G1, do you think that aged well, or do you think that it aged horribly compared to today's standards, or is it based on like? I have
said this many, many times. I think 80s animation was the pinnacle. It was great animation because today it relies so much on CGI. And with cartoons, especially, they go for that cheap, goofy look. You know what I'm talking about? And
yeah.
I don't know, the hand-drawn, I guess even in the 90s with Spider-Man, X-Men, Gargoyles, that looked great. But then you would expect this day and age, 2024, the cartoons would be amazing. But no, it's just stupid, simple, dumbass-looking stuff. And I think what it is back when we were getting those cartoons in the 80s and 90s, they were getting the money to make those cartoons because of all the advertisements. Remember, they were on Saturday mornings.
Yep.
Cartoon. And when the commercials came on, you had cereal commercials, your toy commercials. I mean, all the different things that paid for those shows. That doesn't exist anymore. And so they make them cheap as possible.
Jeez, I've now think about it. It's like I watch so much YouTube now.
They're like deep, man. See, I get on somebody else's channel and I'm like all this stuff.
I think that's the one good thing of that. Like what you guys do is the fact that you're bringing back stuff that nobody's aware of. Like Dylan will never experience like the times that we had in the 80s where everything was pioneering. It's like first shot.
I get him to watch stuff. He was always stuck in YouTube. He's a shorts fanatic.
Dylan, there's more to that to YouTube. Like check out the other stuff.
I'm waiting till he becomes of age when I can introduce him to the Terminator, the Predator, RoboCop, the glorious things that made me what I am today.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. I saw the Terminator in 84. Transformers came out in 84. Robots. To this day, my favorite movie scene ever. The end of Terminator, when you think he's dead and he rises up from the wreckage.
Yep.
Dude, that still gives me chills watching that.
They don't make them like they used to. They really don't. I mean, and even like graphically speaking in the 80s, like today, when you see it on like a high definition TV, it looks so choppy and
I got Terminator in 4K. I never noticed before until 4K when the truck explodes, you can see the cable pulling the truck as it's on fire.
Oh my God. I got to check that out.
But also in high def, the makeup effects in the first Terminator when he's driving the truck. I know they use the puppet head, but they have the light, the face is all tore up, has the light up eye. You can actually see him driving in the truck with that lit up eye. It is so cool. I love that first Terminator movie because one, also, it's a horror movie. Before
it was
Terminator 2, after Terminator 2, it's all action. Terminator 1, if you think about it, is a horror movie.
Yes, it is.
You know, the Terminator is the slasher. I mean, he's using a gun instead of a machete, but still, you're the unstoppable killing machine. I love that first Terminator movie. I could, anytime I'm flipping through and it's on, I'm watching it.
That Alien with Sigourney Weaver. I mean, everybody complains about, like, because I know one thing that they talk about today is that they put so much like female empowerment and female, like female empowerment, and they're trying to do it to the toy lines now, or to our like what our fandom is. Do you think that's going in that direction, or do you think?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Like, do you think like with the female empowerment stuff, do you think it's getting a little bit crazier with toy lines today and collecting, or do you feel nah, we're still good?
I haven't noticed it in the toy lines, but yeah, like in the movies and stuff, where they're just forcing first female action hero. I was like, no.
Yeah,
Ripley and Sarah Connor. I said, female action, Princess Leia.
Yep.
I said,
don't be. Carrie Fisher.
In there, and you can't be telling me, oh, you're a man, you're not wanting to watch female heroes. I love female heroes. First Conan the Barbarian, his female counterpart was a badass.
Oh yeah, Red Sonja.
It just, I don't understand that stuff, and I refuse to understand that stuff. So it's.
Yeah, I get that. You know. So, could a black stone be used to retire broken or bad figures?
You talking about the grill? That's the only black stone I know of. That makes good.
Yeah. Do you remember? Oh, here's one. Do you remember robotics?
Yes, I had the big set that turned into the T-Rex looking thing.
Let's see what other ones we got here.
Future in your hands. Robotics. Ooh, talk about memberberry.
Voltron, Diaroga with updated vehicles. I wished. Did you ever? Because you grew up on the 80s and you had to have seen Voltron because we had Peter Cullen doing the intro, which was like to this day still.
I never got into Voltron. I mean, it was all right. It's just never my thing.
Oh, okay. It was fun for me, but I thought like because you had Voltron, like you had Transformers, G.I. Joe, Voltron in that timeline, in that whole strip. And it was like, oh, that's cool. So let me see if there's any other ones, because if not, then we'll probably call it a night, because I don't want to bore you anymore.
I have not seen my wife all day. It's
Okay.
10:30 right now.
All right. So you know what, then we better call it a night. I don't want to hold you up anymore. Wow, these are a lot of questions. I apologize to everybody if I didn't post any questions for you.
I am really impressed with the chat tonight. It was just really blowing up. Of course, usually when I get on with all my guys, we're so busy rambling amongst each other.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, to this day, I'll still ask anybody, how do you guys do it with the chat and try to keep up? It's insane. But it's so awesome that everybody was involved tonight. And I guess I'll finish it off with what else did you ever use to have Stomper?
What were those? Those are little 4x4 vehicle things. Little battery operated through a single. I got your card.
All right. Well, we're gonna close it out for the end of the night, I guess. So I would like to thank Dylan for coming on the show with us and joining us, because it's always awesome and fun to have, siblings come on the show and hang out with the parents. It's a very rare art, and it's so awesome to have you on here, Dylan. So thank you for popping
me too.
Yeah, I'm always glad. I mean, that's what I like about the community. It's like I try to involve everybody and anybody possible. So Dylan, again, thank you for coming on.
I'll give him props. If he hears me in here videoing, he won't come in until he knows I'm done filming. He'll sit outside the little door out there.
Wait till he gets older. He's gonna have that moment of, Dad, I want something. Dad, I want something. Because my kid did that. Dad, can I have some? But Dylan, you're a good kid, man.
She went in another aisle while we were doing it, and I got her this.
How'd you get it? How'd you buy it?
I hid it and bought it.
Cool.
Mom still let me have it.
You got the envelope?
Yeah, it's right there. And
Mother's Day tomorrow.
I need a pen.
Yep. So that's another reason why we're going to cut this. We're going to close it out for the night. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody that came onto the chat and participated in questions to Patriot Prime over here. And with that being said, I'm going to give you the outro that I've never had a chance to give you properly every time you've been on live with UltraMegatronus. So again, everybody, thank you. And here's Patriot Prime.
Yes. Hi. Patriot Prime here. I am, like I said earlier, I'm not sure if I mentioned in the show intro with UltraMegatronus, TFCon coming up, TFCon Baltimore, which side? TFCon coming up in November. I will be there. My goal is I would love to hit 20K subscribers by TFCon. And I'm at 18, almost 300. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, help a brother out. Won't cost you a dime. Hit that subscribe button, and hopefully you'll like what I bring to the table. I do the modern figures, but I am a G1er through and through, because there is no one like G1. So don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Patriot Prime signing out. Hooah!
And guys, again, thank you for coming out. I am Martin Sebastian, aka UltraMegatronus. I also will be at TFCon Baltimore. I can't wait to see everybody when I get there. And as always, remember, you're never too old to feel too young. And when it comes to collecting, the best thing you can collect is life experiences in general. So have a great night, guys. And once again, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
That's a hell of an outro. Everybody's got these long, meaningful sayings. I'm just, hoo-ah.
I couldn't come up with anything else.
It works.
Everybody has these cool outros, and it's like, I've got nothing. So what I just said, remember, collect life experiences is the best thing you have. So good night, everybody, and thank you again for joining us.